We Are Still Here is a film with a fascinating premise, that which is twofold. Firstly, the actual premise of the film is rather interesting to me. It has to do with a couple moving into a small town in New England shortly after the death of their son. They try to integrate into the small town and deal with their loss, but they find that there is an eeriness about the townspeople who all seem to be, well, up to something. One of them even warns them to leave. The basic premise is that the house is cursed by ghosts of some sort who owned the house a long time ago and will drive them out or kill them, but the premise is turned on its head as it's the townspeople sacrificing whoever moves into the house to these ghosts. This is interesting, but what was also interesting to me is the feel and the plot and the setting of the film are very much influenced by the work of Stephen King, of whom I'm a big fan. The Stephen King inspiration is a huge part of the look and the feel of We Are Still Here, but he actually had nothing to do with it. It's a homage to his work, kind of like Alan Wake. Well, anyway, I was really ready to enjoy this one, but I wound up walking away disappointed. The fact is, there is a great setup and a lot of good, strong characterization in the first act of the film, and I enjoyed the subtle touches of characterization. But going into the second act, it kind of throws everything off. I mean, when the movie starts off, you get the feeling, oh, there's something a little bit off with the house, there's something a little bit off with the town and its people. Once these ghosts show up, it gets real stupid real fast. There's a few twists in this film, and they're interesting, but once these ghosts show up, which are really more like ash monsters, the whole thing gets very schlocky, which, I didn't appreciate. Although some of the characters are built up, instead of watching how they deal with the horrors living in the house, the movie suddenly shifts gears to introduce new characters that I don't care about who get killed off quickly, and then the ending turns into a huge massacre where all the townspeople try to invade the house and they're all getting killed by the ash monsters who are just killing whoever's in front of them. The main characters seem to be under some sort of protection, possibly that of their dead son, and it's all interesting on paper, but on film it's really something that wastes a great build-up to then just go for a string of murders. Now, there are plenty of horror movies out there that just boil down to people get killed, and this is one of them. But when you sell me on a smart and well thought out Stephen King-esque film about ritualistic sacrifice in a New England town, what I got, well, it felt really watered down. That's not to say that it's completely awful, it's well acted and shot, but I lost interest in it rather quickly. I'm going to give We Are Still Here a 5 out of 10. It had an aspiration to be great, but it's just depressingly average.